Hey, what's up everybody, it's me, Geeks, back with another video. Today I am telling you guys 5 Image comics that you should be reading or have read.
Pretty sure I'm maniacal, but what do I know? I don't know, all I know is what I see through my monocle.
So in a past video I said that Image is my favorite publisher, and that is because they put out some really interesting content and a lot of really good stories for underrated writers, and it's just a place that allows writers from DC and Marvel and all other publishers to publish whatever they want, and there's like no creative restrictions, and that's why I find it very enjoyable. So in this video I will be recommending 5 Image comics that I think you guys should be reading or should have read, whether they're an ongoing series or a self-contained story. And so before we get into it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into the list. So the first book that I think that you guys should have read is this one single volume book, self-contained story called Ministry of Space, written by Warren Ellis. And it's a very interesting book about what would have happened if Britain won the space race post World War II, and it wasn't America and it wasn't Britain, I mean, it wasn't Russia getting involved, or they were involved but they didn't win. And what happens if Britain became the most technically advanced country, and how the future would be different with, like, there's floating cars, and it's just a futuristic story about what would have happened in the past. And it's kind of interesting, and you follow this one character who lives through all of it, and I thought it was really good. So at number 4, I am Monsters, written by Mage with art by Sana Takeda, and it is this weird, cool, just fantastical story about this girl and her sister with monsters, and how she's a monster, and it's a pretty empowering book for females as well. And there's some really magnificent art in here, as you guys can see, and it's just a really well done book about fear and magic and how these girls go through fighting these monsters. And Neil Gaiman himself wrote Remarkable, a beautifully told story of magic and fear. I mean, this was just a magnificent and really interesting and well done book. This is volume 1 right here. At number 3, I have Wicked and the Divine by Kieran Gillen, and I forgot the artist's name, Jamie McKelvey, and it is this really cool modern fantasy story about these gods from all sorts of mythologies. They got reincarnated every 90 years. And in different forms, and in modern day they're all reincarnated as rock stars, and it's just a really cool story about how they're fighting, and it's got some really good art in it as well. If you guys read Young Avengers, it's the same team that worked on that, and the story is just of this girl who gets roped into this plot, and it's a really fun story to follow that I highly recommend. So at number 2, I have Matt Wagner's Mage. It is a really fun superhero-esque book that has some pretty cool cartoonish art. But it's kind of, in a way, sort of similar to Invincible in how it's kind of paralleling superheroes, but in a different way. It puts a new spin on it, and I really like the art in here. It's really cartoonish, but also really fun and interesting. It's a really fun book overall that I highly recommend. And basically, this guy is like a reincarnated King Arthur, but is just going about it in a very different way. And you have Merlin, and it's all that, and it's really cool. And last but not least is an amazing book that I did a review on, and that is Witches by Scott Snyder and art by Jock. I love this book so much. The art in here with this like watercolor overlay thing is amazing, and it's really hard to do a horror comic and make it actually scary, and this book executes that perfectly. And I did a full-on review, so click the card to watch that. But this is this is one of my favorite Image comics of all time. And it's a comic that I think more people should read and check out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel for more. And if there's other Image comics that you guys read or don't think I've read yet or haven't talked about on the channel, make sure to leave them and sound off in the comments section below. And I'll see you guys all again next time. Bye.